What's up guys, Jay Bat with another action figure review. But before we start, if you like your reviews unbiased and real, please hit that subscribe button and check out the channel. That's what we do. Today, we're going to be looking at my favorite Marvel Legends so far, the GamerVerse Psylocke vs Thanos 2-pack. Now this was a very sought after pack. It was a Target exclusive, so it wasn't very easy to get. And it's the first of a series kind of based off the Marvel vs. Capcom game characters. And even though they're not using the Capcom branding, it's still pretty cool. I was lucky enough to get these as a birthday gift at the end of July. I'm very thankful, and they were found in a Target near Disney World in Orlando, if you believe that. So, jumping into packaging, it's perfect. On the back here, you see Thanos and Psylocke going at it. You have other characters from the series and their life bars. Very cool. At the top, you have the GamerVerse logo, and then on either side, you have animations of each character, and then a photo of their posed figure. And across the front, you have the window displaying each figure, and then their names at the bottom. This is perfect, like perfect. It definitely's got me excited for the rest of the line, and I believe Wolverine vs. Silver Samurais was shipping next. And here they are, out of the box, packaged. You can see Psylocke has a good amount of accessories or FX, and Thanos basically has none. But for a lot of reasons, I guess he was not the highlight of this 2-pack, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. So far, everything is looking great. Thanos just has the one extra hand, which is the Infinity Gauntlet. Psylocke also has hands, some FX, and a second head sculpt. I'm very happy to have these, and I think Hasbro actually did an impressive job with the presentation, so let's check out the figures. These are amazing. I'm actually pretty surprised. These for sure are now the best 2 Marvel Legends in my collection. The photos and videos are not going to do it justice, but as you can see, these are very well done. I actually prefer Thanos, but Psylocke came out perfect as well. Specifically, I think they did a really good job with the paint. That's most impressive, and then next to that would be the sculpts. The Thanos figure has kind of like a glossy kind of finish on his armor, and he's a lot bigger than Psylocke, which scales pretty well in my opinion. He doesn't do too much or move too much as far as articulation, but we'll take a look at that. And wow, this is what I call a real action figure. I would have definitely loved this as a kid. From what I understand, this is the same sculpt from a previous Thanos figure or like a Build-A-Figure, something like that. But for me, this is my first Thanos, so I'm very impressed. I was looking more forward to this than to the Psylocke figure, and I'm aware that that is unpopular opinion, but I'm cool with that. That's fine. This face sculpt that they did with him grinning, it looks really good. It's painted and sculpted very well, but I do wish that they included a second head sculpt with him kind of angry or stoic, that mad Thanos face, you know. But this is cool. I like the red eyes. They did the helmet very well. The head spins all the way around and goes up and down a little bit. His arms are massive, not double jointed, so kind of like that Thing figure. The triceps move, but they are not double jointed at all. And he does not bend back very well, nor do his feet really touch his back. But that's okay. He's Thanos, he's not Spider-Man, so I'm not expecting all of that, which leads me into the ab crunch, or lack thereof. There's no ab crunch really. He can bend over that much, really, not a lot. You get full spin on the wrist, pretty good movement on that, spins easily. And then of course you have that hinge in there, like with most Marvel Legends, where you can make the hand go up and down. Pretty good movement on the foot, no toe hinge, but you can definitely rotate it a little bit and go up and down. The knee is double jointed, which is good. Double jointed on the knee. And he could spin around at the waist if you force it, kind of just makes it go. A full thigh swivel. And he can hit the T-pose pretty well. But what he cannot do is that he can't do the splits. There's no splits because if you can see, the soft plastic on his garment here makes that basically impossible. So he stops right about there. So that's the Thanos figure of the set, man. And you know, say what you want, but I like this figure a lot. I know collectors have been waiting for a new Psylocke figure for a while, so she was more the focus here. But for me, this Thanos was done perfectly, and I'm happy that he was included. You of course can pose him with any Marvel figure or character, and he's gonna look great because it's Thanos. And while he can't do a lot of crazy poses, he's still gonna look good on your shelf or in photos just beating people up. And so yeah, I don't have any negatives really other than the accessories. You know, where's the accessories? Now, what you've all been waiting for. Let's look at the Psylocke figure. And yeah, she's very impressive. I like it. She's impressive. I'm hearing that this is a new original sculpt. I don't know much about Psylocke as a character, but she seems like a really cool character. They were definitely generous with the proportions here, which is rare for Marvel Legends figures, I think. But again, this is based off her depiction in the Capcom Marvel game, so it's supposed to look kind of thick, I guess. She looks good. And her head sculpt, especially, the face is sculpted very well. The paint job is near perfect. The hair has like a nice purple and black kind of wash on it, a little shiny, looks good. The knees double jointed. This is a very slim figure, so the legs are skinny and the feet are tiny, but they do pivot around back and forth. She also has a thigh swivel. The arms are butterfly joints on the arms, so that makes her very flexible. As you can see, goes back and forth very easily, up and down. Ball joint on her like waist, or I guess right below her chest, so a lot of movement all around. Under her chest, she spins around 360 very easily. Then she has a pretty good ab crunch. Nothing too crazy. She just does that. She bends back pretty well, but her feet do not touch her back, in case that bothers you, just so you know. And then when it comes to her neck, she doesn't look up and down too much. She looks up barely. She can barely look up about that much. She can look down that much, and she can't look up too much due to her hair, but you can spin her head around all the way, even with that long hair. And of course, the hands on this figure, like I said, she's very slim, so the hands are also tiny, and they do spin around though, and they also have that hinge so that you can pivot up and down all around. And then she does have a double jointed elbow, so that's good. Both double jointed elbow and double jointed knee. And that's it for Psylocke, man. Another really good figure. They knocked her out of the park. I totally understand why everyone's going crazy for her. I even saw some people throwing out their Thanos figure once they got this set. So I guess she's worth it, man. But we do have some other things to talk about. Let's check out some of the accessories. And as far as accessories, it's really just Psylocke who has any. Thanos comes with the Infinity Gauntlet snapping finger, which is cool, but I think there's a lot of other effects and stuff they could have had him come with. Psylocke has a second head sculpt, alternate hands, and about 4 different power effects. I know in the comics she has like a katana, but we didn't get that here. We didn't get that, so this is what you get. The Infinity Gauntlet, though, looks really cool. It's interesting they decided to make it snapping by default. They could have, I think, at least included a regular gauntlet hand, like an open gauntlet hand, or maybe even like a gauntlet fist hand. But that's not it. We just get the snapping, but it looks very good, painted very well. Those colors of the Infinity Stones looks good. And then Psylocke hands. She has an open hand, and then she has like what I would call psychic power hands, where her index and middle finger meet. I think Professor X has a set like this as well, but they do look cool. They look cool. And then the second head sculpt for Psylocke, this one looks more like she's in action. She's like grinding her teeth. The hair still looks really good, soft plastic. So this one might be easier to turn her head because the hair kind of sticks up to the side instead of straight down. Then we have her like face power mask thing. Again, I don't know much about this character, so I don't know the name of it. I'm sure someone does. These go over her nose, which we'll look at that in a little bit. And as you can see, there's like hinges on them. Another power effect. This one goes on her arm. It kind of makes it look like it's shooting from her hands. And that's cool as well. We'll see how you put that on or how I put it on. And then these two are my favorite. They're just more power effects. These ones are really big. I think they also go on her arms or her legs somehow. They remind me of actually the power effects for the Bishop figure that comes with Bishop for the Mezco line. So that's really cool. These are really good looking. I like these. Another soft plastic effect. So her power glasses are kind of tricky to put on, but I can kind of show you. There's like imaginary slits above her ears there, but her hair kind of makes it not easy to see. You kind of got to jimmy the hinges in once you get them in those slits. So there's that side, and on the other side, it's shaped differently, but kind of just the same thing. You just kind of got to force it in. And then that's it. They look good on her. Once you get them on, you got to kind of push them up, but they look good. And as far as this like power arm effect, I kind of just clipped it to her forearm like this. And I don't even know if this is the correct way to do this, but it doesn't look bad. I think it looks good with it like this. And she honestly looks really good with all of her accessories. And I'm glad she came with so many effects. Both of these figures are worth the pickup. But before we get into all my final thoughts, let's take a look at some of the height comparisons so you kind of get an idea of where these figures stand and how they'll look in your collection next to your other figures. So first we got him with the maximum Hulk. He's about 8.4 inches. And then we got him standing with the Thing and that black suit Spider-Man. Then we got Jada Toys Fei Long and DJ. And then we have Mezco's Bishop and McFarlane's Metamorpho. And then finally that 10-inch GamerVerse Venom with that maximum Spider-Man. So yeah, I can't complain, man. I would definitely say go pick these up. Even if you have to get them resell, I think they're going for like $100 on eBay. And I honestly don't think that's too crazy for these. If you really, really don't want Thanos, then maybe that price is a bit much. But otherwise, go get these. Psylocke, a great figure with some cool accessories and a perfect head sculpt. I'd have to give her 4 out of 5. Thanos, no complaints other than those accessories. I think this is one of the best looking figures this year. I'm going to give him a 5 out of 5. Thanks for watching again, guys, and tell me what you think about these two. Did you just want the Psylocke? Are you cool with Thanos? Let me know. Comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, please, if you like your reviews unbiased and real. And check out some of these photos we did. All right, be good.